Hi folks, back again. Let's see, Bathrobe Chronicles number 72, and I'm pretty sure this is number 4. And I'll tell you, I'm babbling on like the moron I am. I was just talking about buying into religion, and I mean seriously folks, have you ever just sat down and thought about it? In other words, just said to yourself, how much sense does it make? In other words, we're told that we have to love this God, where he's going to beat the shit out of us and throw us into like this fiery place and burn us in hell for an eternity. Does this sound like a nice person? I mean, seriously, think about it. In other words, I've mentioned before that years ago, you know, you would hear, oh, he's a God-fearing man. It was always said in a positive way, and I never paid that much attention to it. But think about that. We are attributing goodness to someone being a God-fearing man. In other words, this is this person who supposedly you're praying to, and you fear him. This isn't my kind of pal, I'll tell you. It's not my kind of God either. Well, I don't have a kind of God, but I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but about 25 years ago, this friend, I'll even name him, Nick. I won't name his last name. But anyway, Nick and I used to be really thick as thieves, is the saying goes, buddies. You know, we socialized a lot together. We talked a lot, and we'd occasionally have a guys' night out and things like that. And we used to drink quite a bit too. Excuse me, speaking of drinking. And I remember one night we were talking about religion. And as I said, this is like 25 or 30 years ago. And I made the comment that the only kind of good God, for lack of a better word, that would be somewhat like the Christian God that I could conceive of or think about would be a God who did put all this in motion, you know, created the earth in 6 days, 7 days, whatever the hell it was, and then realized he had no power over anything and was up in heaven wringing his hands saying, what the hell have I done? But other than that, come on. I mean, it's just too bizarre. The whole thing is too bizarre. You ride around town, there are like 1 billion churches. Boy, am I running off the mouth tonight. And all these people going there every Sunday and giving their money. And they're praying. I don't get it. And then some people might say, well, where do you get your morality and ethics? Well, that's horseshit. You know, just because you don't believe in a God doesn't mean you can't have morals and ethics. Come on. You know, I mean, you could be born on some island somewhere and have no knowledge of God. That doesn't mean you're going to be an evil person. That doesn't mean you're going to steal from your neighbor. It doesn't mean any of that. You don't need religion to get your ethics and morals. You know, most of us, other than the psychopaths, sociopaths, or those with anti-personality disorders, or whatever you want to call them. Is it anti-personality? No, that doesn't sound right. Antisocial. There you go. I'm sorry. Other than that, I mean, most of us know we shouldn't steal, that we shouldn't beat people up. You know? I mean, most of us know that. You don't need a damn God to tell you that. Come on, give me a break. If you're concerned about learning about morals and ethics, I'm sure there's some philosophers out there who could help you. I mean, come on. You know, you read the Bible, give me a break. Okay, enough ranting on religion. Maybe. Let me move on. I haven't gotten to the important part yet. But anyway, if any of you people out there are supporting Pat Robertson, you need to get a grip. I mean, really. Let's see, what do I have here? Okay, I'm getting to the important part. I may veer off and might have to come back, but I don't have a good history of making donations. I will fess up to that. I think I'm well intentioned, but I don't follow through. of course, if you don't follow through, then, I mean, you aren't doing anything. Now, let's see. The one organization that I've been pretty faithful to, and it's not as though I don't have a desire, I just don't do it. I just forget or whatever to donate to, and I have donated for years, is our local rescue squad. Now, I live in a city, and I could be wrong on this, but I think that just about everything as far as rescue squads is volunteers. You know, your neighbors and friends and so forth and so on, who volunteer their time, you know, to help folks out and, you know, go to their homes and do whatever they can, take them to the hospitals and so forth and so on. The rescue squads. A lot of cities are strictly, you know, paid employees. Not that that's bad, you know, firemen, paramedics, and so forth and so on. But in my city, I think it's almost 100% volunteers. They may have some city officials or whomever who oversee it, but the actual folks who are out there in the vans going to your homes and trying to do what they can to help you and taking you to the emergency rooms, these are volunteers. Okay, so family's had this house since it was new, which I think is 50 years. You know, give or take some. Rescue squad started out, the first person who they were coming out to helping was my grandmother. And of course my grandmother is no longer alive. And then they started coming out to help my stepfather and my mother. Okay, they're no longer around. Ah, yes. I made my first trip in the old emergency rooms, emergency squad or whatever, rescue squad van a few months ago. And I knew my time was coming. So now the folks are helping me. Okay, be back in a minute.